Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you were watching this. This is Geek Latte, and today I am going to talk about Saints Row the Third. And I am having just normal coffee today, also with a little bit of French vanilla. No, I don't think it's French vanilla. I think it's oh my god, hazelnut. Hazelnut. I love hazelnut. I really need to get flavored shots though, or like a flavored pumpy, syrupy thingy. But anyway, awesome coffee this morning. My husband made it and it was great. Yay! All right, so Saints Row the Third is what we're going to be talking about. I played Saints Row 2 and I talked about that in a previous video. So today I said that I would go back and do another video once I was done Saints Row 3, and I actually went and bought Saints Row 4. So when I started to play that a little bit, and I was like, whoa, I can't get too deep into this, because while Saints Row 3 is still fresh in my mind, I gotta make a video about it and talk to you guys about what I thought. Let me take a sip here. And what you're hearing is probably my dog over there. These little collars like chicka-dee-dee-ding. Right. He's fine. So yeah, Saints Row 3, I gotta say Saints Row 3 is epically fun. It is a very, very fun game. People who've played Saints Row 2 tend to be a little bit hard on Saints Row 3 because it's really not the same game in many aspects. It's basically, they took the franchise and redirected it. They took it in a different direction entirely. Not entirely. I mean, Saints Row 2 did have a lot of whimsy into it. There's a lot of humor. It was very funny. But it was a gangster's game. It was, people say, oh, it's like Grand Theft Auto. I think it is and it isn't. I'm not a big fan of Grand Theft Auto, but Saints Row, I think, was a lot more fun. And it was just, I don't know, I just personally like Saints Row better. And even with its more serious storylines and all that, and people dying, and the more dramatic cutscenes and that, and basically all the drama and everything that made the game a little grittier, they completely took out of Saints Row in the third and in 4. We're not going to talk about 4, but in the third one, and it's basically pretty much all whimsy. And it starts off a little bit more serious, a little bit more believable, where the Saints have basically, at the end of Saints Row 2, you've conquered all of Stillwater. You are king or queen or whatever. You're like the reigning gang of Stillwater. You own the town. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's great. And then in Saints Row 3, it starts where not only are you top dog, but you also become celebrities. You know, it's been a few years, and you've risen to celebrity status. I mean, you're not infamous, you're actually famous. And that's kind of taking, reality into whimsy. And then it kind of just builds on that. And then there's a Belgian... I don't know how to say it in English, but there's a European gang leader that comes in and wants to take over, wants to get you out of Stillwater, and then you find yourself stranded in Steelport, which is, I'm guessing, the neighboring town or subdivision or whatever. I don't think it's that far from Stillwater because there's just a bridge that separates you from it, and then the bridge gets blown up and you get stranded in Steelport. And then of course the boss gets really pissed off and decides to, the boss is the main character of the Saints Row games, and that's the character who played the protagonist and the boss obviously of Saints Row. Anyway, and then you decide to take over Steelport, and then you kind of have to go through the same steps as in Saints Row 2, where you take over the city section by section by defeating some gangs. There's 3 gangs in Saints Row 2, and you have to defeat them. However, I will say that in Saints Row 2, it seems that all the gangs were different. They were all different gangs that all had different leadership. In Saints Row 3, it seems like they're all part of one gang. I don't know if I got that wrong, but that's what it seemed like to me. They were all kind of working together for the one main gang, and you basically have to take him down. And which is great. I mean, that's fun, but it's a lot easier to do the game it doesn't, not punish you, but doesn't require as much grind as Saints Row 1 and 2. I guess 1 was just ridiculously grindy, and then 2 was a little less so, and 3 is just not grindy at all. I mean, you just have to do a couple of side quests here and there, and you're done. I mean, it's just, I just flew through Saints Row 3 to the point where when I finished it, I was like, wow, already? That's it? You know, so that was a little disappointing. Overall, though, I gotta say that the amount of fun that I had in Saints Row 3 as opposed to Saints Row 2 was a lot higher. There was no frustration in Saints Row 3 as I had in Saints Row 2. I mean, that's either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your perspective. I didn't mind it. I mean, I enjoyed Saints Row 3 so much, and I enjoyed the ending so much, that I went and got Saints Row 4 right away. So that's going to tell you something. But then again, I did the same thing with Saints Row 2. I was done Saints Row 2. I was ready for more, right? And that has the same feel to me, that had the same outcome. But I will say that I do miss the seriousness a little bit of Saints Row 2. And also, even the open worldness of Saints Row 3, I think, is weaker than Saints Row 2 because it doesn't feel like you can go in as many shops or in as many places. One good example in Saints Row 2, there was a mall, a huge shopping mall where you can go into and just explore and kill things and steal, you know. And I wish they had something like that, an equivalent in Saints Row 3, unless I missed it, but I don't think so. You know, that would have been even more developed than the one in Saints Row 2, which was kind of bare bones as far as mall goes. You know, I wish they'd be a little bit more in 3. But, you know, it is a gorgeous game. It's a lot of fun. And then, what else can I say about Saints Row 3? Oh, it goes from a little bit, like, it starts whimsical. Like, it just gives you, okay, this game is going to be a little silly, whatever. It's going to be a little outrageous. And then we all know about the purple dildo that you can beat people with, right? So, I mean, it's going to be out there, sure. But then it goes from out there to, like, really that have out there. There's zombies in the game. There's you're making a movie at the end if you have the DLC, and it's just, and there's not Attack of the Clones, there's Trouble with Clones DLC as well. We have to deal with brutes and all that, the clone brutes, and it's just like it goes really, really silly, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun, and but yeah, I can understand why hardcore fans of Saints Row 1 and 2 would be like, what the hell is going on with our franchise, right? I mean, they've really kind of taken the silliness part of it and just went to town with it. Really went to town with it. And then I played a little bit of Saints Row 4, and it's pretty much even more. So, yeah. Other things that people miss from Saints Row 2 is the customization of the character clothing and all that. So, yeah, I wish they'd bring more layers where you can even unbutton and button shirts and things like that. You can't do that in Saints Row 3 or 4. And it seems that the more games that they release in Saints Row, there's less customization options. And that goes for the cars too. But other than that, it is still a fantastic game. Very fantastic. And I have to say that I think overall I did have more fun in Saints Row 3. It's a lot prettier. Saints Row 4 just perfected the character models as far as I'm concerned. I think they're exactly where they should be. And apparently Saints Row 4 is the last game of the current Saints gang, of the Third Street gang. Third Street Saints, God. And the main protagonist. That's going to be their last game. And then if they said if they make more, it's going to go a little differently, or it's going to be from a different perspective, or from, you know, different protagonists and all that, which is perfectly fine with me. And I would hope that if they were going to make a Saints Row 5 or another Saints game, that they would kind of go back to what they had in Saints Row 2, in the more dramatic, you know, storytelling, and really kind of take the story a little bit more seriously and have a more of a visceral, dramatic storyline that really grips you, and just kind of get away from the really out freaking there craziness that they had in Saints Row 3, the third, and 4, and still have the humor and still have all that, but kind of marry Saints Row 2 with Saints Row 3 and all that. I think if they just combine those two different ideas together, you could have a really freaking awesome game. And a game that is not Grand Theft Auto, but is also not not seeming like you're taking one aspect and just blowing it out of proportion. One aspect of your game. I think a solid role-playing, well, I love role-playing games. This is what I usually play, and for me to play a game like Saints Row is actually kind of my outside my level, but or outside my usual gaming center or gaming, library, whatever. But at the same time, they do have some strong stories, and they can. I think the future of gaming is really kind of more movie like. Well, that's where it's been going in the last 10 years or so. It's going to more movie like visceral entertainment. Movies, TV shows, gaming, that's all kind of coming together, and it's just, marrying interactivity with the player, with your game, with a very awesome visual experience and a strong story. I think all of those things are important for a really good game, any game, whether it's a shooter, an RPG, a classic RPG, a tactical RPG, whatever. I really, really believe that story is a really good, important part of the game. And I'm rambling, but that's what I meant to say. And so yeah, I really thoroughly enjoy the entire franchise for what it is. Each game is what it is. And I will do probably another video when I play Saints Row 4. Now, I can't even say if that I enjoy Saints Row 2 more than Saints Row 3. To me, they're kind of on a different level. I will say again, as a conclusion to my video, that I hope that the next Saints Row, if there is one, that again, they combine the strong storytelling of Saints Row 1 and 2 with the humor of 3 and 4 together. To just bring all that together in a massive open game. And I would like the open world to be really truly open and detailed and all that, a bit like Skyrim is, or those games that we have played that are open, that you can do pretty much anything you want. Anything you want. It'd be great. Alright, thanks for watching. See you around a little later.